Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek. I love you on the side, Blythe, because he always makes fun of me whenever I do that.
Yep.
And he does this face thing, and then I'm not looking at him when he's off to the right today.
Yeah.
He's actually sitting in the Jason chair today, if anyone's curious.
Well, it is the curmudgeon chair, so it works out well.
He is getting more and more curmudgeon-y every week. Have you noticed this?
Must be that chair.
It's getting bad.
I mean, not this guy.
Why are you getting so curmudgeon? Okay, well, I'm Dub, and I write your show. Usually write your show. I didn't write this show. Blythe wrote this show. But so, Blythe, tell me, why are you getting so curmudgeon-y lately?
I think it's just the fact that all of you old people think you know what's better, and you don't. You're like,
He's such a judgmental jack.
if someone told everyone, just keep using horses and buggies. That's what makes me mad.
You know what your superpower is? Being a butthole.
Loving too much?
No, there is no love there at all.
Am I considered old?
No.
You're
on my level, Pixie.
Okay.
We're the old people.
But yet, ironically, Pixie, I think, gets along better with us than she does with you.
Shit's because she's only met me today.
And she likes Baby Yoda.
We've got some bond in time. She already answered.
She loves Baby Yoda.
She already answered the number one question correctly.
How much? Let's
That's
go over
true.
to
The Marvel
Pixie,
and DC.
How much do you love Baby Yoda?
So I'm getting my friends a Baby Yoda bride and groom for their wedding.
And in case you haven't noticed,
I can't-
Pixie's here. Hi.
I can't say some things
Do you have
right
anything?
now.
Do you have anything else to say about this? Because we can keep this going.
We
could
could.
do this
Baby Yoda.
We could do this for hours.
It's not.
for
Baby
hours.
Yoda.
Everyone
It's like
has
instead of
everyone
Baby
has
Shark,
their
it's
faults, and this is
Baby
Pixie's
Yoda.
one
Do, do, do,
fault.
do, do.
It's okay.
So basically, anything that you don't agree with is a fault, huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
the
comfortable
end
with
all
that.
of everything, and I make all decisions. So
Sure you do.
This is why I'm in charge of the audio editing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and who are you, young lady?
I am Miss Geeky Paige, and I like Baby Yoda too. But apparently I'm old because Blythe says I'm old, but
I'm not that old.
I'm pretty cute for being old, so there you go.
I agree.
I'm drop dead sexy for being
Thanks.
old. So.
I wouldn't go that far.
I am.
But
No, I am. I am girl pretty. I'm just saying.
Jeez Louise.
You said the camera's not on right now,
camera
right?
no, you can make all the faces you want.
But I'm easily a 9.5. I mean,
If you were an East German gymnast, maybe.
Whoa.
ooh, I could dig that. Okay, so today's show is brought to you by your childhood being torn to shreds.
I forgot to introduce Pixie.
But you already talked.
She talked, but
Oh, I'm
Pixie's
sorry.
here.
Pixie's here.
Pixie's here.
Pixie's
I'm here.
Yeah.
You are
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decided to come back for another week.
I just appeared. I didn't know where I was, but now I know
get
where I
this
am.
feeling that you're going to be here a lot more. Yeah.
Just like that?
Just like
Baby
Just
shark doo 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 doo.
that. Oh, wow. Everybody's just a little bit funny today. So today will probably be one of the most controversial episodes I think we've ever done. Because there's a lot of people that are really not happy with our subject matter today, and a lot of people that absolutely love our subject matter.
Like everybody who doesn't know what the subject matter is now sitting here going, "Oh my God, what are they going to talk about?
What are they going to
This could
talk
be
about?
anything.
They're
If
gonna.
you didn't look at
It's a minefield."
if you didn't look at the title of the show,
It's we're totally talking about Baby Shark done
Do,
by
do, do,
DDS or
do, do,
DWS,
do.
Dancing with the Stars, guys. That's what we're talking about.
no. Even I have my limits. No, we are talking Disney remakes into live action
Ew.
from when we used to love them and they were perfect, and then they crap on them and put no. I'm
Make
just
them
kidding.
real.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Eh.
Now there's some of these actually that I've liked, but and I want to put this out to start. In general, I haven't been happy with the product. But for this episode, I'm going to believe that they're going to turn it around and they're going to be awesome. So when we do our top 5, I'm being positive. But we're not going to hide from the fact that some of us don't like some of these.
And I think that's fine. Here's my issue with it. is it's okay if you don't like things. There's plenty of things in this world that people like and then people don't like.
Then why are you always telling us we're wrong for not liking
Because
stuff that
you
you
are
like?
definitely wrong when it's something I'm talking about me. There's things I don't like and there's things that I do like. And the things I don't like, you all need to not like those things. You need to be in 100% agreement with me all of the time.
This feels a little
It really
one-sided.
does, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
Dude, the transformation is complete. You are now PB and Blythe.
That's fine.
No, you are first season PB and Blythe when he was just trying to. Woo.
Oh Lord. Okay, sorry.
I think my conflict with it is there's some of these things that people won't even watch. They're just
Yeah.
immediately like, no, this isn't the original. They shouldn't be remaking the original, and I just won't even give it the time of day. A lot of things that were made in the past weren't perfect. They were good and we remember them fondly, but they weren't perfect things. And there's always room for improvement. And sometimes you get that improvement and sometimes you don't.
because I'm perfect.
Except for Courtney and me because we're perfect. And Ellie Pixie, sorry.
Wow.
And Pixie, not Dub.
I was thinking
Dub-
that I've
Dub
not
needs
told you what your
always
real name
wrong.
the whole time.
Dub needs to make all sorts of... we need to reboot Dub.
Wow.
We need a live action remake of Dub. We'll get The Rock to play you.
I don't know if my feelings should be hurt or not right now.
Oh, we've skipped some levels. We've
waited.
skipped some levels.
Ouch. So why are these movies on the rise? All the remakes, and I do have a theory on why. Because no one from Disney has any creativity anymore, and they have to steal from the perfection of the past and try to revamp it.
I think similar.
That's the old guy thing to say, I know, but there is some truth to that.
I think similar. I have to kind of agree. I think that
Well,
instead
thank
of
you.
coming up with something new, they're like, well, we can improve on what was already here.
And then you watch Dumbo and you realize they can't.
Oh, God, that was bad.
Well, the thing that really irks me about that is that they're thinking, oh, well, we can remake everything.
Yeah, they
No, you can't. There's just some things you just can't do. And I wish you could. I really do. Like, of all things, like, some of these movies that they've remade, like, for example, Aladdin. It was not a bad remake, but when you go into it thinking, oh, no, he has to be just like Robin Williams, well, of course you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
But there was no improvement on it. I feel like it was a step back.
That's...
There's different variables on that one.
Yeah.
That especially that movie in particular, they made Jasmine more prominent in this one, whereas last one she was just kind of the eye candy. They made Genie was a little bit more of an open book this time. He could talk more. He wanted love. He wanted this. He wanted that, which they did in the second
And it should've
Aladdin
had-
cartoon.
But no one liked that either. Again, that goes back to they tried to remake the first one and it wasn't, even with, no, Robin Williams wasn't in the second one, he was in the third.
Yeah.
There's just some things that shouldn't be switched around with.
See, and I disagree with that just because I think with Aladdin specifically, I think that movie is improved on. Do you go into that movie expecting the exact same thing as the first one? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't go into something expecting the exact same thing, because if you did, it wouldn't be it would be new. It wouldn't be different. So why would you think anything? Why would you want to see the exact same thing hashed out in the exact same way?
Well, it's not necessarily, like you said, if it's not better than, they shouldn't do it. However, my wife did bring up the Disney contract, which while these public domains, they lose their contract or they lose their license if they don't remake them or re-release them. That's why the Disney always pulled out the From the Vault classics. I know you're a little young for that one, but they used to do that on VHS. That's when you had a tape and you put
They
it in
still
a
do it.
VCR. Yeah,
They
re-released them because that is part of the contract. That is
I don't
part
think
of
No,
that's not
The
necessarily
thing is
true for things that they own and created outright. But
Yeah.
that's
They have a
public
creative
domain works like Frankenstein and
things that are public domain don't fall under licensing issues.
But they haven't created.
Their stuff is copyright now is for 75 years from the creation date, and then you can actually file for more copyright.
Every time they do a new one.
Yeah, to a certain place. So
Which
I mean,
is why they have to
that's
keep
not
making
really.
Fantastic Four.
But that's
not-
something that they
but-
licensed out to a different company. That's
they
not
make
something
it
that they
better?
100%
Yeah.
own. So if you have a contract with a different studio that you've sold the rights to, yeah, that studio has to keep making movies in order to continuously obtain those rights. But for Disney, like with something
Yeah.
like Aladdin, they're never going to lose copyright on that.
No.
That's a property that
No.
they own.
How do they own that? Because that was
Aladdin-
That was
This-
written way.
The story of Aladdin is public domain, which
is.
means I could go right now and make a movie about Aladdin and
Mm-hmm.
I'd be fine and could not be sued by Disney. The version that Disney has made is owned and copyrighted by Disney. So you couldn't take the Disney cartoon or the live action and remake it word for word.
Yeah.
Because you'd be breaking their copyright and then they could take you to court and then you'd lose everything. Because
That's why you see all
Disney.
those B cartoons and B movies that show up on Netflix and stuff like that
That are so awesome.
That are sort of like
Yeah.
That are better than
Yeah.
the live action remakes. I'm just kidding. Just joking.
Yeah. So anything that's public domain, you can take that story and redo it and
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
But anything that is under copyright belongs to the copyright holder.
Yeah.
So that's why Disney can do live action remakes of their shows because they own them.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a resurgence in reboots right now because, for one, I agree with you 100%. I think it's a money making thing.
Yeah.
No, it's,
they're
printing
taking
money.
these. Yeah, they're remaking these old beloved things with the assumption that they're going to make a lot of money because
They do, yeah.
because
Yeah.
they do. But also, I don't think that there's a lack of creativity within the company. You get original stuff that comes out. You got Princess and the Frog that came out. I mean, at this point, it's been a little bit, but that was
Most of the
completely
cartoons
original.
are not
You
remakes.
get
Yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen, the first movie,
And the
as much
second.
as and the second, as much as you wanna
And
not be
song.
fond of the
And
of
remember-
the song because it's so overplayed. Those movies are
Disney owns
good
Marvel.
movies.
All of the original Marvel movies are all Disney stuff. So they're putting out
Different
original
writers.
stuff.
I mean, now let's
Different
clarify
writers.
which
Still falls under the Disney umbrella, though.
Yeah.
which Frozen song do we think
They
is more overplayed?
Different writers, yes. But I could walk in and write a Disney movie, and I could write a Marvel movie, and I still would work for Disney. But I'm two different.
But I think you're
properties.
making. I think this is a problem with the geek community in general, and I know we're going way off the rails here, but is the making the company an individual. Marvel is not a person. Marvel is a soul-sucking conglomeration of
So is Disney.
a million people. So is Disney. It's we're stop thinking of it as okay. Let's look at the story not as the company is. Well, Disney can't do anything wrong. Well, Disney is
I'm
a
not
lot
saying
of different
Disney
things.
can't do anything wrong.
Well,
I'm just saying,
and I'm not saying
you're-
that. I'm just,
we're
that's
talking
what I
about
hear a
in
lot
terms of original content. Disney's
Yeah.
putting out original content under the Marvel umbrella.
But no, I
Disney's
think
putting
Marvel is.
under original content under the Star. Yeah, but they can't do that without
Without
Disney
Disney's
saying,
permission,
"Okay,
yeah.
that's fine." They can't put out
Because
stuff
mommy
without.
and daddy said that you can play doesn't mean that the parents came up with the great.
Yeah,
game
but
that
we're
you came
not.
up with.
But
And it-
we're not
it's a
saying
moot
that. You're
point, I know.
saying new content. Mm-hmm. Well, the new content, yes, it might come from the Marvel division, or it might come from the Star Wars division, or it might come from the Disney animation division. It's all Disney
Disney's umbrella.
and all their Disney content.
Yeah. But back onto just Disney specifically,
Yeah.
they're coming out with original content. They're not just making reboots. If you look at the slate of movies and cartoons and things like that that Disney has over an entire year, it's almost one movie a month that they're putting out now. And it's not always Marvel, it's not always Star Wars, it's not always a reboot. They have content that's coming out. So the original content is there. I think it's just overshadowed by the reboots because there's such a hot topic right now. There's reboots left and right, not even just for
Well,
Disney, but for
because to be
everywhere.
fair, that's what we're all paying attention to.
Here's what I would say 100% is we're getting newer technology as we growing. You know, we're growing. We can do more animation. We can do more things that look so realistic, so lifelike, and they don't want to lose interest in their previous projects. And I think like a prime example would be they didn't want to lose Star Wars. So they redid Star Wars. They revamped it, and they sold 3 new ones so that people would get an interest again in Star Wars. And again,
some people may call that a mistake.
It goes like yes or no. There's so many issues with that. This is not a Star Wars episode. We'll have to do that another time. But
We have.
It'll never go away ever.
But the reason I'm saying this is because it's like here you are. You're in Disney. You are a big corporation. You've got all of these, umbrellas, as perfectly put. You've got Disney princesses. You've got Disney animation. You've got Marvel. You've got. They want to make everything relevant again. So it's making more money. And it does come back to money because they are a company.
Well, that's what they should be
That's
doing.
how they pay. That's how they pay their people.
And, well, as much as we always gripe about, they're just printing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're all spending it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all giving it to them.
And that's what they're supposed to be doing.
I
We
think
all go
everybody.
see their movies.
They're
We all
not-
have subscriptions to Disney+.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure we all have Disney Plus
I
here.
say they're
Yeah.
not evil for making
No.
money.
No.
However, I just do have I don't like the recycling thing because I feel like.
I think in
But
some,
that's me.
I think in some cases too, it might be that specifically with these cartoon to live action, there's all this very cool newer technology, and I think it's like, let's see if we can make this happen. I'm not saying they're good or bad because I'm not a huge fan of the live action remakes either. I didn't mind a couple of them, and I'm actually pretty hyped about Mulan, but
Yes.
I think in some cases it's okay. Well, let's redo the Lion King because the Jungle Book was so successful when they did the live version of the Jungle Book. They have this cool technology that I think some of it they just want to play with and see if they can pull off a beast or they can pull off the dragon and that kind of stuff. Does it make it good?
Well, here's the problem with as far as technology. I think we're so close. But I mean, any animator will tell you the closer they get to the human face, the more it doesn't look right until it's perfect.
Exactly.
And they're at that point now that it's so close that I don't want to see it because there's just something icky about it.
Well, and
I think that's a big problem.
The
with it.
de-aging thing kind of freaks me out a little bit too. When
Yeah.
I was watching,
Yeah.
I rewatched Captain Marvel last night. Now this is kind of side version of it, but I kept looking
Last
at.
week too, you watched it twice.
I did.
That's amazing.
I like to rewatch things.
I caught you there.
Thank you. But like they de-aged Coulson and they de-aged Nick Fury. Nick Fury's looks more realistic than the de-aging of Clark Gregg as Coulson, and his is actually like borderline creepy almost because I'm like, it just doesn't look right.
Do you know why that is? I can tell you exactly why Nick Fury's looks better than Coulson.
Because they
Why?
used his old imagery.
Because Samuel L. Jackson
Goodfellas.
has been in so many films and for so many years
They get pulled back
that
from
they
him.
go back and they reference every single one of his old movies, and they're able to actually get a better understanding and a better vision
Of how he
he
aged.
looked and how he aged, so they have more to work with, as opposed to Clark Gregg, he's been around for a bit doing different little projects and stuff like that, but not back when they wanted to de-age him for that age.
Well, and I mean it's the same thing with the Tron though, the Tron Legacy,
yeah.
the Clue.
Oh,
that is
gross.
young Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
We know what young Jeff Bridges looks like
That
because
was-
we've all seen
But
Tron.
that was 10 years ago.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, this
exactly.
must
The
be a
de-aging
technology
has
thing.
gotten
So
a
I mean,
lot
that kind
better.
of creeps
Yeah.
me out just a touch
honestly,
as well.
the Kirk Douglas didn't look horrible in Ant-Man.
No, and
No.
neither did
No,
Robert Downey
no.
Jr. in Civil War.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like they just took his head from like his Brat Packer movies and just stuck it on the.
Now, I mean, ask me this question again in about another 7 years.
Yeah.
and I'm going to have a different answer.
Yeah.
But I think that the technology is so close but so far away, I don't want to watch it because, like, when you watch the dogs talk or in these movies or whatever, it's not right yet. It's just like there's something that's just your brain says this no.
Yeah.
And I think that's honestly, going back, I think that's a big problem we're seeing. Storylines aside, that's a big problem we're seeing with the remakes. Is it's so close, but not. I
Yeah.
would rather it be, light years behind than where they are now.
Buzz Light.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But again, and
Woody?
these movies aren't
Infinity Beyond.
necessarily for you.
True.
Therefore,
But my kids hate them.
a newer. But I mean,
my kids watch the old movies.
exactly.
Too, so.
Your kids watch the old movies. They grew up with your influence about the old movies. For kids that
perfect
are
influence?
a lot, for kids who are a lot younger than them, they're gonna grow up, and some of them, this newest version of the Lion King
That's
is
gonna
their
be their
favorite
version.
version of the Lion King,
Yeah,
and
my-
there's nothing wrong with that. Like they're allowed to have that version that's their favorite, because maybe even that may be their first introduction to the Lion King.
My niece will not watch anything if it's not a musical. I mean, granted, she's 4.
Yeah.
But I got her on Frozen, and she doesn't want to watch the other Disney princesses yet because she loves
Yeah.
Elsa and Anna. And I'm not even upset. Like, yeah, I like it. I'm annoyed hearing the songs over and over and over and over
Honestly,
and over
I don't-
again. But
that's one of my favorite singers in the world. So
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know,
have an
I
issue.
love her. I do, honestly. And I worked with a lot of people that have worked with her when I used to live in LA eons ago. We won't get into that. That was a whole nother lifetime. But she is a great singer. She's so talented. And she comes out and she sings a song, and it's great. The problem I have is when my niece goes, "Pay it again. Pay it again. Pay it again." It's not
At least
over
it's
yet.
Not Baby Shark.
You know, I actually had to play Frozen to get her off of Baby Shark.
You know
So
what's-
I'm not
you know what's
even mad.
actually worse when your niece goes, "Sing it again, Aunt Coco."
I haven't done that one yet, thank you. I don't sing it because I know if I sing it, it'll be a whole nother can of worms. But I will say, back to what we were originally talking about, I feel like we are technologically ready to do some of the remakes. It's just, do we need them? Really, honestly. I loved the original Lion King, and this one came out, and I think the issue I have is it feels too realistic, too lifelike, to a point that I'm not even sure when they're talking. Like, I hear the voice, but I don't see the movement. I don't
They
see
took
the
the emotion
facial.
out of
I
it.
don't.
Yeah.
They did. There's no fun, happy like.
Yeah, there's something about when they drew it that was had so much more life to it.
Yeah, when Simba's like, "I just can't wait to be king," he was jumping and leaping,
Yeah.
and his face showed that emotion too.
Because
And
it was
when
the
you
human emotion you can draw. You
you
can't.
can't do
do it on
that when
computer
it's.
yet.
And somebody, and I forgot where it was now. I know it was, I saw it on Pinterest, but some artist, and whoever you are, thank you, took the live action, like, still photos and did it a little bit more cartoonish. Did it where their eyes were a little bit bigger, where their mouth was a little bit more prominent, and made it look like a realistic / cartoon. Like, here's a lion that we've cartoonified. Like, here's a real scene with the lion, but we added a little bit of a cartoon aspect. And he just did these still photos, and it was beautiful. And if that was the way the new Lion King came out, I would have loved it 100% more, because it would have given it life.
But I think with that is that at that point it's no longer a live action reboot. It's a
But
a
with
3D animated
But the
film.
Lion King really wasn't a live action reboot.
It
because
wasn't.
It didn't have. There were no animals in that. They were
No,
all.
but that's what they're
generated.
but
That's what they're selling is
that's
the
what they're
live
selling.
action.
Yeah,
It's live
yeah.
action because those characters are not modeled to be cartoon characters. They're
Yeah.
not modeled
They're
to
modeled to be
be.
real animals.
They're modeled to be real animals.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
I-
the whole point behind it.
I believed the characters. Like,
yeah.
when Scar came on, I was like, oh, yeah, no, he looked just like Scar. It was perfect. But it's just like, I don't know. I just felt like they could have done so much more with that one.
Yeah. I think, and I will agree with you there, that you lose some of the magic behind the film when you try and make it into. They're trying to make what was a cartoon in an animation a serious movie.
Yeah, and it's
They-
just.
and it's not.
I mean,
it's not
The
necess-
magic's gone.
Yeah.
I know it's based on the original, Hamlet or something like
Yeah, it's
that.
based on Hamlet.
I know that, but I mean, they made it such a fun story, and
Yeah.
you lose it. You really lose the magic when you make it so live action that it's just no
I
longer.
think that is the problem that's happening with a lot of these live action remakes. I haven't seen The Lion King, but I've seen the Dumbo, and my problem with the Dumbo, I mean, it's visually stunning because it's this Tim Burton beautiful world,
Yeah.
but
The story's
the
terrible.
heart and that feeling you get when you watch the story of the cartoon is missing. It's the same thing with the Beauty and the Beast. I love the Beauty and the Beast cartoon. I love the Beauty and the Beast Broadway show. This version
It has no humanity.
lacks that inherited spark of heart that these Disney movies have. And I don't know if it's because they're translating badly or they think they're improving on something that was already there. It's not working, it seems.
Well, here's the question on that. I mean, do they need to be 100% accurate to the movie that we loved?
No.
Would you have loved Beauty and the Beast if they would have been more shot for shot rather than what they did?
No, it doesn't. For me personally, it doesn't bother me if it's not exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least the story.
The story has to still have that special something that's in it. Like I think the Mulan looks
awesome,
lit as heck.
Yeah,
and I'm really excited.
I don't want to watch without the dragon.
Well, and like I'm actually okay that there's no Mushu and there's no Cricky. But I mean, I would like them to have been there, and I am a little upset that we are not going to get down to business and defeat the Huns. There's no music, but it looks like it's going to be an amazing. I mean, it may tank like all the other ones do, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, there's no. The ones that have come out thus far, and I'm not going to include 101 Dalmatians because I actually thought that was pretty good. The first one with Glenn Close. Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah, and I mean, that was part of the reason why is because Glenn Close was so good. But I mean, these newer ones that have come out, there's just something
missing,
lacking.
There's no magic. You just said about Glenn Close being cast in 101 Dalmatians, do you think that part of the issue with these remakes is casting?
Yes.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
She should not have been cast as Belle.
Not at all.
I don't think so.
And I had no problem with
Luke
Evans, is that who it is Gaston? I thought the Gaston and LeFou were great.
Exactly. Yes. Their characters bring in that light from the original movie because of the casting.
Yeah, but casting is not
good.
The Lion King.
They can sing.
Yes.
She can't sing. That was all audio. It was just like auto-tune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bad.
In The Lion King, you mentioned you like Scar, probably because of the performance that actor gave.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Beyonce in that movie, I wasn't a big fan of. She was too regal. It was almost like she took herself too seriously in that role.
She should have been the mom.
Exactly.
And you had I bet you had no problem with Mufasa because it was still James Earl Jones.
Because it was James Earl Jones. First of all, that man can do no
So
wrong.
I wonder if in dub, one of your biggest problems with Aladdin is that you don't think that Will Smith will ever be as good as Robin Williams.
And he won't.
To be fair. For that character, he won't. But if you go into that movie just taking the genie as a genie and not trying to compare him to Robin Williams, he's a good genie in that movie.
And he's funny.
To be fair,
edgy.
I can't.
No, and that's fine.
I get it.
I can't give you a fair. I didn't like the movie personally.
Yeah.
Would I have liked it if I'd never seen the original? I don't. I can't say that I would, but I can't say that I wouldn't because it's.
But I think that's
why I don't read the spoilers.
I think that's a huge part of the problem is that there's just some roles that they're casting.
They're too iconic.
Was perfect.
Their casting was perfect, and their casting wasn't the second.
Yeah, well, and they're just they're putting people in these roles that shouldn't necessarily be in these roles. They need to take a picture out of Marvel's book and cast people who you wouldn't necessarily think would be good,
but they know
in those roles. But they trust them to do with the role that they should.
Well, and I mean, in case in point, they're doing a live action of the origin story of Cruella de Vil.
I've such mixed feelings when you just said
I completely just blanked into who the actress is in it.
But it's not gonna be Glenn Close.
No, it's the girl that was in La La Land, the redhead. Emma Stone. Emma Stone is Cruella de Vil. Yep, that's my thing right there. And I will fully admit, I don't know if because I like her. I enjoy her. I don't think she's a good choice for Cruella de Vil, but I can't 100% definitively say that it's not because I think Glenn Close is the greatest choice for Cruella de Vil.
I will go on a slight tangent with that one. It's kind of like when you read a book and you picture this character so perfectly that the author has described, and then they make a movie of it, and they pick somebody that was picked because of who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I went into the Divergent movies mad. When the first movie came out, I was like, no, she's supposed to not be pretty. She's supposed to not be this. She's like, I went through the list in my brain, and I was so mad that Shailene Woodley got picked. I was like, ugh. And she actually did a really great job acting that part out.
And that's why
She
I
doesn't
say,
fit the description, but she played the part perfectly.
and that's why I can't say that my hesitation about Emma Stone is because I don't think she's right for the part, or it's because
I'm
the
so
Cruella
used
DeVille
to-
played by Glenn Close
It's
is
just
the definitive
perfect.
version in my mind. It's the same problem I have with a lot of this stuff when they
It's hard
recast
to-
stuff.
it's hard to
like,
break
I
down
can't
those
tell
walls.
you if this is why I'm upset about it, or it's because I have legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
Well, the Beauty and the Beast, even when you asked earlier, like, what is it better that she was picked or no? And I'm sorry, I love her as an actress. She's
You
my
needed a singer.
inspiration for Hermione. But you need a singer especially if you're going to do a musical. You can auto tune so much, and then we start hearing it, and every word out of her mouth at one point just sounded auto tuned to
The
me.
original Belle was a Broadway actress that they pulled in to do the voices. So I mean,
Which-
it's
Well,
like,
they usually did that.
Can I be
Yeah, the
honest?
majority
I
of
would
them
have
were.
rather they had done that. I would have rather, instead of having her auto tuned to horrible robotic sounding nastiness, I would have rather they brought in somebody else to sing it for her.
Yeah.
Because there are singers. I was trained a long time ago by a singer who can do accents when she sings. That was impressive. I'm sure she could have been able to do something like that.
It's hard to for people who understand. I mean, we've all have a little bit of musical background at this table, and it's hard to go into a movie fresh. And when I went into Beauty and the Beast, I was hoping for a great performance from her, but when you go into the movie and you're listening to the song and you're like, all right, here comes that one note or that one song
it's not
defining
there.
thing, and then it completely misses, and you're like, what? That at that point, like, that's when the movie shatters, and you're like, nope, this
And I
isn't what I
wonder-
want it to be.
that you bring up a good point, because I'm hesitant to watch any of the remakes, these live action ones. And it's because I was so excited about the Beauty and the Beast, and it was just so bad. I don't want to put myself through it again. So that's why I've not watched.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Lion King. I haven't watched Aladdin.
You know,
I'm going to watch Mulan, but I can't bring myself to watch the other ones because I know that I was hyped about Beauty and the Beast.
And maybe you're going to see Mulan because you know going into
love
it,
Mulan.
but you know going into this one, there's no music, there's no
and
cartoonery.
And I
can-
like
Exactly.
I like the people that they've cast in the roles that they've cast.
You know exactly
Enjoy
what you're
that.
going into, and you're
Yeah.
expecting something different. You're not expecting the same thing.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say I was a little I liked The Lion King. I did. I just wish it had more heart to it, and the magic was not there. But the music, singers were actual singers. The people that were doing it was great. Honestly, everybody that came into it, like, I felt like they were actually doing it. Apart from, again, the Beyonce thing where she just was so overpowering, but otherwise everything else was great. Like, all of them, every single one of them did their part exactly the way you would have wanted them to do their parts.
Yep.
So
Nice. I think we're going to be banging our head out the wall at this point. So let's jump on
True.
over to our listener feedback.
And now, let's see what all of our geek rock stars have to say.
On this version of the listener feedback, we asked a question. It's so easy to get caught up with the negative. What are some of the Disney live action remakes that you are a fan of or excited to see? This one took a different turn.
Yeah, we got a lot of really good feedback.
this
too.
surprised me,
It's very
actually.
exciting. So our Miss Kati Mae said that she's pretty easy to please, and she's been fairly happy with most of them. She loved Maleficent, enjoyed parts of the sequel. She enjoyed 101 Dalmatian, and she's the minority in this because she actually enjoyed Beauty and the Beast and thought it was beautiful and mostly fun. I will say, because I'm not going to read it out for everybody, most everybody who commented said they're looking forward to Mulan.
yes.
So if I don't read that out, guys, it's just because Everybody said it, and I agree with you. So Dino said that he actually liked Aladdin. There were enough changes to be its own thing, and he thinks Will Smith's genie was as much his own as Robin Williams' portrayal was his. And our resident gruntball Blythe jumped in and said, "Yep, I feel the same way." So I just outed you for that.
Thank you, Dino.
So Danielle Ariana, I want to make sure I specify that. She's been more than content with the remakes of the older classics, Dumbo and The Jungle Book. I'm sorry, we just crapped on Dumbo, but it's bad. Obviously, animation technology is stunning, and she thinks that overall it was cool to see them on the big screen. The Jungle Book in particular was a favorite of hers, so she really enjoyed seeing that coming up. Now, she did say that Dumbo was unique in the way that it revamped the story, apart from the situation between Dumbo and his mom, which that's the part of the other story. And she did basically she loves the original take that Tim Burton does with the color scheme and the sets and all that stuff, and I will actually agree with that.
It looks like a Tim Burton film?
Yeah. Now, Danielle, just so you know, you have 4 pages with writing, so I'm not going to read it all, but I really appreciate every single thing that you wrote on there. So I'm going to jump toward the end of it now, because she does say that she, after so many disappointments, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and the Lion King, she's going to be more judicious when she goes sees the live action remakes. She will see Mulan because she thinks it's important, and it's based on a true story, and it's part of a world that is underrepresented in American film, and it looks promising. So there you go. Dub agreed with me.
Did I?
Yep, you said thank you for the lovely, well-written response, which I will thank you for too, and I'm sorry I'm not going to read the whole thing out because we're running out of time and I talk slow. Scott Skeen says, hey, Scott says the main disconnect that he has with the remakes is his kids. For his kids, they are the only connection that he has with the original, and none of the remakes are going to give him the same emotional feeling that he had with the original ones, which I get. Danielle Houston said he liked Beauty and the Beast. He thought it was well done and didn't think the magic of the story was lost. Looking forward to the potential of Mulan and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ooh. They're not making a live action of the Hunchback. They are doing a Broadway musical, which is actually very, very good.
I'd rather have that than the movie.
Well, it's very, very good, and it's actually more traditional to the original story of the Hunchback, the novel, where they actually kill the princess. So you're welcome.
Thanks for the spoiler.
It's a 500-year-old book.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's reference back. What?
Double just cut that part. Tyler Romaine said that he personally enjoyed Beauty and the Beast, and he's looking forward to Mulan. So apparently, Blythe and I are the only Pixie and I are the only ones that didn't like Beauty and the Beast, I guess.
I didn't like it, but I'm a curmudgeon.
The table of 4, apparently we're the only 4 people in the world that didn't like it.
Well, I have to say this. I have such an affinity to her. Everybody always jokingly calls me Belle or Pixie, and Pixie's usually my preferred name. So when I go to see a movie about a favorite character of mine and it's
not right,
freaking all messed up because all it is auto-tune, yeah, I'm not happy.
So Skeeter Thompson said that he actually enjoyed Aladdin and believes that Will Smith made the genie his own and he appreciated it. He did dislike the changes to the lyrics and the music, but it's a world we got to live in. And then finally, Christina Belden. Not her usual 85-page long answer. Christina, what's going on? I'm confused.
You okay?
Are you all right?
Do we need to call the cops?
Right. Do we need a wellness check? What's going on? She said she can't wait for Mulan. Agreed. I know that people are upset that Mushu won't be there, but I'm fairly certain that this production will not need comic relief. It looks like a great movie. There is a dragon in the movie, guys. It might just not be dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, that kind of
It's not going to be Eddie Murphy
going
being
crazy.
Eddie Murphy.
Right.
Yeah.
And she also said that she adores Maleficent so very much.
Oh, that's a good one.
Angelina was bored to play that role. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
I
I
really
do
liked
too.
Maleficent too. And that's all of our listener feedback. Again, you guys are awesome rock stars and we love you.
Thank you.
Appreciate ya.
Outstanding. Let's go on to our main event.
Now it's time for the main event.
Okay, on today's version of the main event, we said, what is our top 5 Disney animations that we would like to see done in live action? Now, we're in a world where we all liked all the remakes, and they're going to do a good job on it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I took this, is they're not going to screw up these things that I love, so let's do these things as good things.
So like back in Metropolopolis?
Yes. In I think about 3 alternate dimensions over, this is actually what happened.
There you
So
go.
we're living in that 3rd dimension over.
3 alternate dimensions. I
multiverse.
love it.
It's a multiverse. I love it. When they didn't screw up Beauty and the Beast.
And Robin Williams was still the genie.
In the live action. I'm in. Okay, so my number 5 actually shared with Pixie.
Yeah.
And that would be 2 movies, The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down, Under.
Oh, such good movies. I
Fantastic.
would love to see those. I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, but they're mice. Yeah, I
think
know.
they
That's
could
what
do it well.
makes that
Simba
so
was a
amazing. Like, yeah, Simba was a lion, but
I
come
feel
on,
like
that would make that
mice-
so much fun.
I feel like mice they could do with the CGI without screwing it up too bad,
Exactly.
because they don't have the human faces. They never had the human faces in those.
And I would
They're
love to
very
see how
mice.
they pick those voice actors for those
'cause
roles.
Newhart was so good.
He was so good.
and so was Gabor. I
Yep.
mean,
Oh,
it's
well,
like,
I mean, it's
really?
Gabor, let's be honest.
I mean, I don't like her in anything but that. But they just matched so
But her
perfectly.
voice is so perfect.
And it's got to have the nudie pictures they're going through the sewers. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I
Don't
do.
act like
I
you
If
don't.
you don't know what he's
I
talking about,
do.
it's all over the place. Just look up The Rescuers.
Right.
Rescuers Uncut.
There you go.
Yeah.
Late night rescuers.
But the animator was fired afterwards. No, he
No, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
They didn't catch it for years.
No.
Yeah, not until
And you
were
couldn't
able to
catch
frame
it.
Yeah.
Not even sure if he'd still work there anyway. All right, did my job.
My number 5 is Moana, but only if we could get The Rock to actually play Maui.
I'm
I'm
in.
down.
You're welcome.
I mean, yeah, I'm down.
Let's be honest, he will do just about any role anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's this generation's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
No.
The only difference is, Samuel L. Jackson is like a really good actor, and
and
I don't know
The
if you've-
Rock's just fun.
I don't know if you've seen things like The Arena, but Samuel Jackson has been in some turds.
well, yeah,
He was on Snakes in a Plane.
right.
Yeah, you know
Clarify,
what?
they've all kind of
Black
had their
Snake Moan?
movies.
He played that earnestly. I'm
Just
not gonna
remember,
lie.
his first movie was Coming to America. He's the robber of the McDougalls.
Yep, and he was in Goodfellas too.
They've all had good and bad movies.
Right.
Come
Even
on.
Samuel, or even Sam Elliott, he just had a bad movie.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch, I gotta say,
He's in
this.
Ghost Rider.
Well, that's forgivable. He was in The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then later killed Bigfoot. Yes, that is the title.
Get out of
Oh, is
And
that
he-
like Velocipastor?
It's just about as bad.
So next time
Awesome.
Dub tries to
Sharknado.
review any sort of movie, just remember what he just said.
No, I'm not saying they were good movies. I'm saying he played that earnestly. I mean, he played that
That's
like
some
he was
serious
making
stuff right there.
He acted like he was making a $10 million movie. He was
Oh.
in for the win. You believed that he was killing Hitler, and then Bigfoot.
That Bigfoot.
Okay, I'm sorry to side rail us like that. Twice.
My number 5 is a Goofy movie. I want to see.
Terrified by this thought.
Yes, I want to
Who
see.
do you want to
a
see playing Goofy?
I don't want to see anyone playing Goofy. I want to see them do what they did with The Lion King and just make Goofy look like what he would.
Still terrified.
Yeah, like an actual
Are they gonna-
anthropomorphic dog.
Are they going to have a real person playing the rap star, the Vanilla Ice wannabe?
No,
he
it
was,
was,
he was-
it's the Prince wannabe. It was based off
Oh,
of Prince's
Prince, yeah.
character.
No, but that whole universe is animal people, so they're
Right,
all
isn't
gonna
it
be.
all animal people?
Yeah.
It's been a while
Oh,
since I've seen Goofy.
or
Oh no!
and I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
bring this up later.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I'm
Same CGI as Cats.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I want it.
scared. No.
I want it 100%.
Okay, I'm moving on now because I know
Thank
some
you,
people are
Jesus.
getting ready to throw their phones.
Try not to. Your phones are important. You can't watch the show if you don't have your phone.
Next time Blythe talks, just fast forward it. We're all good.
Remember
hit that
from earlier, I'm right,
Cats.
you're wrong.
No. My number 4 is I want to see Frozen, but Idina Menzel has to play her character.
Yeah.
That's the only way I accept it. But
These are the rules.
it kind of is.
Have they done Frozen? Are they doing Frozen or have done Frozen as a Broadway?
Yep,
It
it's
is.
already
It is a
currently
Broadway.
on Broadway.
Yeah, so I would.
And the girl who played Hawk Girl in The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow is actually Elsa.
Really?
And does a good job.
That's cool.
Very
She
good.
was the original Esmeralda in the musical version of Hunchback that they created as well.
So that's what I would like.
There's
I
your
would like
random
to
trivia.
see Idina Menzel return to Broadway in the role as
Oh,
Elsa.
she's always.
Yeah.
The thing that would be
Then now kind of sucked, but
the thing that throws me off is the transition that they do during the Broadway show for her changing outfits.
She wears pants.
That's still a little bizarre to me. She
There's
has
only so
the-
much you
Get-
can do.
I know, but it's such a
With a
fat
costume.
suit, and then they flip it.
Because she ends up wearing pants
Yeah,
for Let It Go.
Interesting.
why?
because they
'Cause
have
the
to
costume
flip
changed.
the suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
The best that they could come up
Wearing
with the
pants
costume
in the
change.
snow. It's fine.
My number 4, we're going to continue on with the Hawaii theme, and we're going to go to Lilo and Stitch. Live
Okay.
action, and we need Ving Rhames as Cobra Bubbles.
Oh.
And
Who is Stitch?
Stitch could be
This could be
like,
anyone who
It could
Anybody.
be like
sort of changes their voice.
It would be
around.
like the Lion King thing where they go no cats. There'll be the Lion King thing where
Stop
they
with the cats.
CGI.
Stop.
They do the CGI making him look like a little blue furry monster. And then they could get some cute little
So
Hawaiian
you're
girl to play
referencing
Lilo.
Sonic at this point.
Yeah, but not creepy Sonic.
Without the teeth.
Yeah,
That's
not creepy
fair.
The
Sonic.
teeth were not right.
Yeah, but we'd have to have Ving Rhames as Cobra Bubbles though,
That's
because
yeah.
it's important.
I agree. That'd be great. Mine would actually be The Great Mouse Detective. That's
There's a
my
lot of
4.
mice in your
A
list.
remake of a
There
remake.
are. There's a-
awesome.
But The Great Mouse Detective is just, I'm sorry, it's a fantastic movie. And I mean, yes, it is based off, it's very loosely based off Sherlock Holmes. For some bizarre reason, I think my favorite part is just the reference to rats and mice and the difference in heights and the cats and the dogs. It's just a great little story in general anyway, but to have all of that in there would be great. No cats animation.
All cats animation all the time.
Do you have is the Great Mouse Detective addicted to drugs like Sherlock? Or
It was
do they
just
not?
cocaine. He was just addicted to cocaine.
You
Just
know,
a,
I
just
think
a 4% solution.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was addicted to bubbles.
And that
I
would
think
be
he
why.
had the
Oh,
little
okay.
the
Yeah, he
little
had the thing
pipe
with
thing
bubbles
with the
in it.
bubbles in it.
a way to make it less dark.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cocaine.
Good for you,
For
Disney.
poor Sherlock.
My number 4 is Big Hero 6.
Oh,
okay.
I want to see.
I didn't even think of that one.
I want to see
Me neither.
San Francisco brought to life. Like
would be
that
cool.
city was so cool and so vibrant that I would love to see a live action representation of it.
I wish we could have seen where Stan Lee could have taken that role if they would have had another
Yeah.
one.
That
Because
would've
I
been
think they
really
would have
cool.
given him a role. On
Oh,
that.
for sure.
And he's never
yeah.
had a role, really.
Not really.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
I also would love
Now
to see
I'm
how they
sad.
cast that. I want to see
Yeah.
who do they put? Do they
Who
put
do they put in the Baymax suit? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
See, like I know that and I'm sorry I can't think of
The
the
Rock.
actor's name, but the dorky guy that's in it that ends up being like, yeah, friends, pants, this, that, like.
Oh, T.J. Miller.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He would still probably play himself 100%.
Probably.
But with the other actors, it's questionable. I'm not sure.
I think you could. I think with the different types of personalities that are in that movie, though, you could
do a lot of
You
people.
could
You
bring
could.
together a
Stars.
super cool cast.
That would
for
be
Yeah, you
fun.
really could.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're up to number 3, and my number 3 is The Fox and the Hound. I'm a hound dog.
I'm a hound dog.
That one I would actually forgive the really odd-looking CGI that we see with animals now, and could be very happy with that. That's one of my first movie memories.
Do you know what would be really cool
What's
is if
that?
they bring I can't think of his name. Jeff Bridges, and make him because he's the voice of one of them.
Yes, and Kurt Russell.
The Kurt Russell, that's what I'm thinking of. Kurt Russell. They have Kurt Russell come and be the farmer.
Oh, that would be
See, you're good with it now.
I'm having a moment.
I know.
Right now.
You're welcome.
See, this is the alternate dimension, so I can be excited for this.
I know.
I think we need to leave Dub alone in a room for a little bit.
We need to full circle this right now.
I kind of need a cigarette. Go right ahead.
My number 3 is The Black Cauldron.
Such a
which is
good movie.
Yeah, it's not super popular, and it would be very, very cool, especially to see
She is the
the
original
Horn King and,
Disney princess.
Yep, a bunch of
But
little.
not a whole lot of expectation for it,
No, because
which would help.
the movies. I mean, for geeks everywhere, it's probably got a lovely place in everybody's heart, but it's not the most well known. It was in that period of time when Disney was
Bad.
tanking. Yeah, and I mean it was before Eisner came in and fixed everything.
How
And
would you want... Oh, God, I'm doing this right now. I'm forgetting his name. The cute little guy that's following them around. How would
the
you
dog
want...
thing?
Yeah, how would you want him animated? Or not
I
animated?
think that would be cool if it was prosthetic makeup.
I like practical effects.
Yeah, dude with practical effects. I'd be down for that.
That'd be cool. I'd like that. My third one... I've always, ever since I was a little girl, wanted a Little Mermaid remake. And no, I'm not obsessed with mermaids.
And we're allowing this because the other one hadn't been released.
It hasn't
No,
been
they're not
released
done
yet,
filming yet.
and I know that and I've seen who they've picked, and I'm kind of wishy-washy right now, just because I'm like, but,
Typecasting. Yeah.
yeah, it just kind of feels like I don't know.
How do you typecast a mermaid?
That's true.
Here's the question though, like there's so many things that, like, you know, I know we change the stories all the time. I know. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Tiana's a black princess. This one's a black princess. But I feel like they took the original Little Mermaid and kind of went, that was a really cool idea, but forget that. We're going to do this instead. And I kind of feel like they're just forcing change that they don't need to force.
She's a mermaid. It doesn't really matter what she
Here-
looks like. Though.
No,
Here's
but
what
the
I-
description in the original books was that she
She
did
also
have...
dies in the original book.
That is true, but she was
And
a
she
redhead.
dances to death,
And
which
And
is
she was
amazing.
pale.
No,
Yeah.
she turns into
She turns into
sea
sea
foam.
foam.
She won't kill the prince who's married somebody else. So I mean, if we're gonna get real technical,
Yes, I know, but still, they stuck with the original description of her, and I feel like they changed that again, and it's just kind
they're
of
gonna give
heartbreaking.
her the red hair though.
Here's what I think about that. I think kind of what we talked about earlier with Beauty and the Beast. I think the music is going to be the deciding factor
Yeah.
for
Yes,
that movie. If we
100%.
walk into that movie and sit down
And
and,
the
we
music's not
get
there,
if
it's done.
if the music's
Yeah.
not there, it's
Yeah.
not going to be good. But I think if the music matches what the original did and gives you the same feelings that the original did, it won't matter who was
Yeah.
cast as who.
Yeah.
You will be enthralled in that movie
And-
because Little Mermaid has some of the best music of
yeah.
any Disney.
Yeah, it does.
And my thing with it is Ariel used to be my nickname because of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Because I was a swimmer and I sing. So the clincher that is for me is the Jodie Benson is the voice of the original Little Mermaid, original Ariel. She loves this girl.
If she
She approves this girl.
that's kind of why I
Okay,
say
bring it on.
I'm a little wishy-washy.
Just bring me a good Ursula and I'm happy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I want B. Arthur.
I
She
know.
did.
I know.
Now I
I'll
do
take
have,
Melissa McCarthy.
I have one
I'm
little,
okay with that.
I have one little add-on. I
don't
know
want it to be
that
a drag
Disney
queen, though.
did the live
No.
action Broadway. I am not counting that for many reasons, but I
No,
will
I don't.
say that I do 100% love Queen Latifah as Ursula. She owned that role.
My number 3 is Princess and the Frog.
I love that.
Interesting
movie.
pick.
I
Good
love
one.
that animation, and I think bringing the whole New Orleans vibe and jazz and
I
everything
love
like
that
that, I
one.
think it would
So
be
good.
perfect as a live
And I'd like to
action.
see the Shadow Man as like a real life
Yes.
character.
Oh, that
yeah,
would be
Samuel
Dr.
Jackson as the
Fossilier.
Shadow Man.
Dr. Fossilier would be very cool.
Nice. Okay, my number 2 is the Fantastic Four movie that we all deserve. The Incredibles. I want to see it.
movie.
Yes.
Is the babysitter here?
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
Do it, Pixie Pool.
Do it. Do it.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Parr. My name is Kari, and I'm going to be babysitting.
It's pretty close.
It's close. I can't do it. I don't have braces.
I love it.
But I think
It's
this.
okay, Mrs. Parr. I'll
think-
play a Mozart.
They should
So hard to do.
They
I
should
love
let
it.
Marvel have this and do it.
Right, they should just do it. Just
And
do
not
it.
Don't let the Disney quote unquote guys do it. Let the Marvel guys do it.
Please don't cast me as Kari.
Well, then you definitely get invitations to the show every week.
Exactly.
Okay.
My number 2 is the Zero to Hero Hercules. I know they're doing a Broadway musical, but I'd really like to see it live because I just love Hercules. I love the Disney movie Hercules.
Fair enough.
Those muses, the music in that is great.
They did
especially the muses.
They did a reference to Hades in one of their Disney Channel movies, and I would actually love to see that. That like they did a good job with him. I would watch that. I would watch them do
Be
a
down
Hades
for that.
like that. My second is Oliver and Company, and no cats animation. No, negative.
Yes.
No, I would want them to do the animals very much like they did Lion King. I think it'd be great to go back through the streets of New York and not have a worry, not have a care. Why should I worry?
And then you need to have Billy Joel in it.
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
Somehow they have
At
to have
least
Billy
be the
Joel in it.
singing voice for Dodger.
If you're gonna bring up the piano thing too, I think it'd be great to have him playing and have the dog just sitting on it like, oh.
We could still have Bette Midler too as Babette. The voice.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
I'd like
I'm
that.
sold. I mean,
Cheech is the Chihuahua.
everybody's so alive.
I know.
I just thought about that. That's the only movie that we can say that.
Let's do
Except
it.
for Frozen. I mean, wow.
My number 2 is Wall-E. I would love to see that.
I'm a Mac and I'm a PC. Sorry.
I would love to see that kind of movie turned into almost like a space epic. Like I think there's a lot that you could do
I hated Wally.
with it. What?
Stop
did.
it. Stop it.
You don't like the realization that they were just
I hated
eating
Wall-E.
people.
Here's the thing.
3 times for me to get through it.
I love. Okay, I'm sad about that. But I loved Wall-E for so many reasons. But they came back to Earth, and people were able to learn again and live again, and it was a great. By and large, is literally companies out here today.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
I'd say.
Okay, my number 1. It's a remake of a movie called of a TV show called Herman's Head. And then
That's what it was. I was
it
trying
was
to
Herman's
think.
Head. And then they made Disney made the movie Inside Out. Now I want to see it be live again, only more like Herman's Head, because Herman's Head was brilliant, and I missed that movie. That show.
Forgot all about
It was
that
so
show.
good, wasn't it? But I want to see them redo Inside Out. You know, you can have the wackiness and the whole fantasy side of it, but just. Yeah, I mean, that could be so real person that's in the head, and I think that would be so
That's
great.
hilarious. I forgot all about Herman's Head. Well played, Dub.
You're welcome.
So my number 1, what I would like is like along the lines of Maleficent. I would like to see Ursula the Sea Witch's origin story, because it's referenced in The Little Mermaid that they had fantastical feasts when she ruled the palace. So why don't she rule the palace anymore? I want that story. I want to see that, but it's got to be the right person to play Ursula.
Same
B. Arthur.
person.
Only be Arthur.
She's dead.
Only be Arthur. You
She's
bring
dead.
her back.
She's dead.
Bring her back.
She didn't
Are
play
we
her in
gonna
the
bring
Little Mermaid
Elvis
movie.
back if we're gonna do that?
No, we're only bringing back B. Arthur.
Oh, okay.
And maybe Jimi Hendrix.
Pat Carroll.
Ooh, that's a good one. Pat Carroll.
Wow.
That's the person who played Ursula.
That is the person that played Ursula. So my first one, I want them.
Carol Channing back.
Oh, jeez. I can't even. I want.
You go ahead, dear. You go ahead. Let's hear your number 1. I want to hear it right now.
I want it to be. I want to redo the Lion King.
So you want to remake the remake? Is that what you want to do?
You have to stop. You're gonna break her over here. You know that, right?
I broke this.
She's in tears, everyone. She's in tears.
Oh, this. Why don't we have
Oh
the
wait,
video running
wait,
now?
wait. Dub is in tears. Pretty sure. I think it's just you and me. It's just you and me, but
He ignores it. He doesn't even know who Carol Channing is.
I don't know who that is. You're right.
oh,
Everybody else thinks it's hilarious.
Stop, I can't.
You're also talking to a theater geek. I loved her in the actual movie version with Thoroughly Modern Millie with oh god, see, look at what you've done to me. I can't even think of it.
Well, tell us more about the Lion King.
Okay, anyway, I'm gonna do the Lion King as the top one. I want a remake of what they did, only I want the heart back. I want the heart back. I heard
Fair
that.
enough.
I want
think
the
he's
love
probably
and the
gonna have to
connection. I want to feel like it was the Lion King. Oh, we're not.
Real professional Dub. Remember when I said Dub needed a reboot earlier?
I think I do. I think I broke myself.
and Miss and Miss
I'm
Geeky over
out,
here.
so
She's out. She's tapped
I'm
out.
done for the rest of the night.
I do believe it is your turn. What is your first?
My number one is Toy Story.
Oh.
Kind of creeped out by that
It's
idea too.
Cats animation.
No!
with
I was
Tom
thinking about
Hanks and why am I spacing on his name?
Tim Allen.
Tim
Tim
Allen.
Allen. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Their faces just superimposed on the toy's face.
The only thing that I really
No.
want. So if you're gonna
I just
do
want to see it all
a Toy
superimposed.
Story, yeah.
Forced perspective. That's what I'm looking
If
for.
you're gonna do Toy Story, you have to reference that at the theme parks.
No,
So at
superimposed
any
is not.
time somebody walks by the characters
They don't
and
do
they
that
say
anymore.
Andy's coming,
They don't do it
They
anymore.
don't
They're
do
not
that
allowed to.
anymore.
They used
Every
to,
time
though.
we
That
talk about
makes
It's
me
Toy
so
okay. They used
mad.
to do it. It was a story that once had truth to it.
Yeah, a long
They used to.
time ago.
well, one of them decided
So
to fall and injure
Well,
themselves.
she hasn't been on every
it's
episode,
because
to
somebody
be fair.
because somebody walked over and kicked Woody in the head.
Good.
That's
is
why they can't do
crappy.
it anymore.
He's wearing a suit. Who cares? Take one for
It's
the
your
team.
generation.
Why don't you put a suit on and I'll kick you in the head and
That's
see
fine.
if you care?
You literally are.
That's
the
fine. I'll stand up and be like, "We toys see everything."
You know what? We're not going to beat that. That's a show.
That's it.
Yes, there you go.
Take a listen to our music at the end. That'll tell you where to get a hold of us.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening to us and listening to us
Oh
be
my.
stupid and
Thank you
silly.
for enduring
We
the,
love y'all.
the laughing and the crying.
I'm
and
Dub.
I'm Miss Geeky Page.
I'm Pixie.
I'm Blyze.
Keep on geeking on.
The Russians are coming.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.